Problem 3 wants us to take dy dx for this equation. So before we start taking the derivative, let's actually investigate what's going on here. So the first term is 2x times y. So this is actually going to require a product rule because we have 2x times a y. So we have our first term times our second term. So I'm just going to take the derivative of that. So the derivative of the first piece is just going to be 2 times the second piece. Then we add that to the first expression times the derivative of the second. So the derivative of y is the outside function, right, is just going to be 1. Because you get 1 times y to the 0, right? Then the derivative of the inside function y, right, is dy dx. So the derivative of the inside function in these cases is almost always going to be dy dx. Then we have a second term. This is 3x times y minus x. So we're going to have to do the product rule on this as well. So the first term is 3x. So the derivative of 3x is just going to be 3. Then we multiply times the second term plus the first term, which was 3x, times the derivative of the second term. So when we do the derivative of the second term, we already saw from the first part, the derivative of y is just 1, that's the derivative of the outside, times dy dx. And then the derivative of negative x is just negative 1. The derivative of 1 is just 0. So we're not done with the problem until we solve this expression for dy dx. So the next step, this is the derivative step. Now we need to solve for dy dx. So in the previous problem, I was able to very quickly isolate the dy from the dx. But see how this dy dx is trapped inside these parentheses? So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to distribute this 3x across to make those parentheses disappear. So 2y plus 2x dy dx plus 3 times y minus x. We can just leave this alone. Plus, now let's take this 3x and distribute across. So we get 3x dy dx minus 3x all equals 0. Now I'm going to see if I can combine anything together. And if I look at this, I have a 2x dy dx and a 3x dy dx. So those two terms will actually combine together and become 5x dy dx. So this term and this term added up to give me this term. Now, since that's the only dy dx I have, I'm going to take all the terms that did not have a dy dx and I'm going to move them over to the other side. So positive 2y becomes negative 2y. Positive 3 times y minus x becomes negative 3 times y minus x. So I'm just subtracting them from the left side to bring them over to the right side. And then positive or negative 3x, right? We add that to both sides to get positive 3x. And now to get dy dx by itself, I divide both sides by 5x. So I'll have negative 2y minus 3 times y minus x plus 3x all over 5x.